Welcome back to art. We are focusing on the 7 elements of art, and today let's talk about space. Space is an optical illusion. Really, we're tricking your eye into thinking you can walk right into our artwork. Before we begin, let's say our mantra.
Are you ready? I'm ready. I am an artist.
I am an artist.
I am creative.
I am creative.
I make mistakes.
I make mistakes.
But mistakes are great.
But mistakes are great.
Because they help us learn.
Because they help us learn.
You are going to need a piece of paper, turn it the window way or the short way. You're also going to need a ruler. And then I want you to make a dot right in the middle. This is going to be the vanishing point where all lines will go to. Then draw a square. This square should be parallel to the edges of your paper. Next, put a dot on each corner except for the back corner. You want to put a dot on each of the 3 corners. We are going to create a cityscape. That means that it is going to look like we're a bird flying over the top of these really tall buildings and looking down to a city. I want you to take your ruler or straight edge, and I want you to line up each dot and go right to that vanishing point. It is going to look like it's 3-dimensional, and it's going to have height, width, and depth. Now, I decided using a marker was a little tricky, so I'm going to use my ruler for the next square and a pencil. I line up my ruler so it's parallel to the edge of my paper. That means that it looks the same, almost as if I've copied and pasted that line going across. And I line it up so that I can draw a nice, neat square. Look how I'm lining up the end of the ruler to the edge of my paper because I want it to be parallel. Parallel lines are 2 lines that never ever cross over. I put a dot on each corner except for that back corner. And I'm going to draw my line or the corner to the vanishing point. So I'm drawing a line from the dot to the vanishing point. All lines go to that center dot. Every single line goes to that center dot. Now, I decided to try a square, and this time, do you see how it isn't parallel anymore to the edges? It is kind of a crooked square, and that could happen to you, but that's okay. It still works to draw the dots to the vanishing point, each of those corners to the vanishing point, and then make it look like it's going down. Now, if you want to fix it a little bit because you notice that it is a little crooked and not as straight as you would like, you can do that by straightening out the corners and erase. That's why it's a good idea to use a pencil. Now, what if you don't have a ruler at home? Then you can always use anything that gives you a straight edge. That means it could be an envelope. I've actually used an envelope before because that was straight and it had a little bit of an edge to it. Next, I want you to fill up your paper with all sorts of squares, maybe even try a circle. Go for it. All right, now it's time to add those dots. And where are you going to draw the dots? On the corners that are closest to the vanishing point. Now look what just happened. I had a building behind a building. Would I draw right through the center of a building? No way. So I want to make sure that if I have a building behind a building, I want to stop and I want to skip the building, but line up to the vanishing point. That's the rule. So watch how I put a dot, and I line up, and every single corner goes to the vanishing point, except for the corner that's farthest away. Even on the circle, you can do the sides of the building. Mark your dots, line it up, and stop if you go to a building. Otherwise, go for it and draw right to that vanishing point. I started to work on some windows. Now there's different ways to do windows. You could use your rulers, but I really am not. For me, I'm not that precise of a person. So I like to just visually draw on some windows, little rectangles, and then the farther they get away, they just become little dots. And the other one, I did use my ruler, and I just drew where it looks like there's windows. The entire building is windows. So I'm going to try that again, where I draw these lines going to the vanishing point. And then because it's a curved building or a circle building or a cylinder, then I have to draw curved lines. Now I'm going to add some details to the top of the roof, and I'm going to add some roads that are far away. So these little tiny roads are coming through the city. And then the very top of the buildings have some of those mechanical things. But like I said, I'm not a person that likes to do super precise things. So I'm going to draw in my windows. After that, it's time to outline everything in black. When you're finished with the black, go ahead and add color. I'm going to be using crayons, and I'm going to remember to color with value. That means dark near the vanishing point and light when I get up to the top, because that's closest to the sun. Dark when it's really far away and light when it's close to you. Enjoy art.